How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a good day. It is a Shabbat, a day we should be spending with our Father in the Word, praying, and I've been reading in Malachi, and I wanted to explain to you guys some of the stuff I've read and some of the stuff I found today. So, in Malachi 3, verse 5, he starts and says, I will come to you in judgment, and I will be ready to witness against sorcerers and adulterers, against those who swear falsely, against those who oppress the hired worker, the widow, and the fatherless, and against those who deny justice to the resident alien. They do not fear me, says the Lord of armies. So verse 5 is very important because he talks about things that we've learned in the Old Testament, the things that we learned in the Torah. The beginning things: do not hurt the widow, do not hurt the fatherless, do not swear upon my name falsely, do not do sorcery, do not commit adultery. We learn those things from the Torah. So continuing on, he says, because I, Lord, have not changed. You, descendants of Jacob, have not been destroyed. He says, I have not changed, because people say, oh, he changed his mind, the law is not crossed. But he says he has not changed, his law is forever. When he says, I have not changed, he means it. So that means those who say, oh, the law is gone away with, you're calling God a liar, calling Yahuwah a liar, because he did not change, he does not change. Since the days of your fathers, you have turned away from my statutes. You have not kept them. Return to me, and I will return to you, said the Lord of armies. You ask, how can we return? So, he says, since the days of your fathers, you have turned away from my statutes. You have not kept them. What statutes were there to keep? The statutes were his commands, his Torah, the things he explained for us to his instructions. He said, keep these, follow these, and I will bless you. But we've turned away from them. The people have turned away from them, and they do not want to follow them. They say the law's on the cross. They want to do as they can. It's all about grace, grace, grace. He will forgive us even though we continually sin. And he says, you have not kept my statutes. You have turned away from them. Continue on, he says, will a man rob you or rob me? How would we rob God, you ask? By not making the payments of the tenth and the contributions. You are suffering under a curse, yet you, the whole nation, are still robbing me. So that was back in the day when we had priests. The people would not pay them. They would make the priest starve, basically, because that was the only way they could actually get anything, was through their sacrifices and their giving them the 10th offering at the end of the year. That was the only way. If not, they would basically starve. They wouldn't have any money. They wouldn't have any food. And so they were supposed to give them a tenth of the payment, but they were not doing that. So he says, bring the full tenth into the storehouse, so that may be food in the house. Test me in this way, said the Lord of armies. See if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing without measure. So he's saying, like, we can put this for all of the things. If you obey his commands, he will pour out a blessing beyond measure. He will bless you beyond measure, because he will rebuke the devourer for you, so that if you do not, so that it will not ruin the produce of your land, and your vine in your field will not fail to produce fruit, said the Lord of armies. Then all the nations will consider you fortunate, for you will be a delightful land, says the Lord of armies. So he says that. That's what he said back in the Torah. He says, I will bless you. You will be blessed beyond all the nations if you just keep my commandments. And now, those who are blessed are those who keep the commands. And those who are cursed are not those who not keep the commands. He will curse them with all these things, is what he said. He said, your words against me are harsh, said the Lord. Yet you ask, what have we spoken against you? You have said, it is useless to serve God. What have we gained by keeping his requirements and walking mournfully before the Lord of armies? I think we've all heard that before. The law's on the cross, we can do as we want. It's too hard. The law is too hard to keep. There's nothing for us. We can't do anything. And that is not true. God says you are like cursing him. You're speaking evilly to him. You're speaking harsh words against him. You are hurting his feelings. You are hurting him when you do that. And so now, we consider the arrogant to be fortunate. Not only those who commit wickedness prosper, they even test God and escape. So we hear these people that say, oh yeah, these people, they live better lives. They don't even follow God, and they live better lives. We can just do this. And that is not true, because he will destroy those people that do that. He will destroy people that commit wickedness. And wickedness back in the day was considered lawlessness, and lawlessness is without Torah, without instruction. So if you don't have the Torah, you are committing wickedness. At that time, those who feared the Lord spoke to one another. The Lord took notice and listened. So a book of remembrance was written before him for those who fear the Lord and had high regard for his name. They will be mine, said the Lord of armies, my own possession on the day I am preparing. I will have compassion on them, as a man has compassion on his own son who serves him. So you will again see the difference between the righteous and the wicked, between one who serves God and one who does not serve him. And as I'm ending this video, we can all see who serves God. Those who say the law is on the cross, that is a lie. They are not serving God. They are serving Hasatan. So stay in your word. Have a good Shabbat.